we've come to the second impulse of December. As I said, I'm using the Blizzard optional rule, which basically means that the German offensive firepower is down to 1/4 of its regular offensive firepower, which basically means that they never roll more than one die, because when you have full firepower, of a full strength unit, which could be 4, the best the Germans could have, is down to 1/4, so 1, and I believe that I've read on the forums, the minimum firepower is also always 1, so it basically means, and they've defended half strength. Soviets do not suffer any malices from blizzard weather. Even though in Kiev 41 they do, I believe. The rules are a bit more evolved there, but it also makes it more difficult. I think this is fine, actually. What did the Germans do? They played a pass, so they simply moved this unit from over here back to where the action is. The Soviets attack once more in Voronezh, and they attack once more here, but they didn't do much damage. So basically, as you can see, their two HQs are down to heart level now. They could try something here, but there's no way they're going to break through. And here, I should have used this unit. It's a fast unit. I should have moved it on the previous turn, and then it would be able to move into Chula. I can still play a pass somewhere, so they probably will take Chula, but I could have done that in a handier way by activating it previously, have it move 2, and then have it move again. But because now, of course, it won't be possible to move it any further into Chula, because the headquarter that could actually make it move is down to heart level here, as you can see. So basically, I could still go on, which I will do, because the Germans could actually still try and make a move for Moscow. And then the Soviets seem to be pretty exhausted now, literally and figuratively. The Germans, because they play 2 passes, basically still have all their HQs in full order. So I think the Germans will try and make a push for Moscow, and then I will still play out and see how that goes. But the Russians have clearly been unable to make a dent in the German defenses. And I'll go into that later. I'll post a brief evaluation of this session as well. And basically what it boils down to is, I think that in the beginning, the Russians were maybe a bit too aggressive, or at the very least, I think they should have retreated back to the river line and built defensive lines there, hoping to stop the Germans. Here, it seems there's not much in the way the Germans can do. Russians can build can make a stand here, or maybe they can do it here, but there's not much reason to keep so many troops there. And the essential area for the Russians to hold is in Kirov, number 93, because it's the only clear path through to Moscow, apart from the south. But if they build a strong defense behind the line here, behind the river line there, then the Germans will have a hard time breaking through there, especially if, as in this game, they draw both our Luftwaffe headquarters rather late. If they do have them, of course, that really changes things, but, and then build a second line of defense here for the Russians, that should slow the Germans down enough, I think. So that's what I should have done for the Russians. And basically, and this is then the evaluation of this session, apart from what may still happen now with the Germans, that's, I believe, how the Russians should have defended, and they've been very unlucky in their draws, in the sense that they never drew Zhukov, and they never drew their November reinforcements. And of course, I'm sure they made some mistakes, but the Germans did as well. The fact that you have so many German units here, the strong ones at that, really means something, and that should have allowed the Russians to do more than they did now. But okay, so this was the summary of the 2nd December impulses for both the Germans and the Soviets.